So I just wanted to time out the session, and if I could ask you to step outside briefly. So Chris, what do you think went well during the interaction?
What went well?
Yeah.
Not quite sure really what went well. I think, I don't know, I greeted him and picked him up and he's in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, ultimately I felt pretty nervous kind of with the cameras on and everything, and felt like I didn't really do that much well actually, so.
Well, I think you did pretty well, and it's normal to be anxious and nervous. Well, but with respect to your the couple of agenda items that you had in terms of setting up the sort of a framework of the consultation, how do you think that went?
I think that was okay. I mean, I think I did some things that I wanted to do, which is kind of talk about what's going to happen in the consult.
Okay.
Now that sitting here thinking about it, I didn't ask him if.
Well, you know, we'll
save
we'll save the things, aspects that could have been maybe done differently, or what you didn't do, or we'll save that. Well, let's just dwell on things that we thought went well.
Okay. I mean, I think I did talk about the agenda, so I think we got that out. Don't usually do that, so I think that went well.
Okay.
I thought that at least I developed some type of rapport with him. I thought that was okay.
Right.
And I think that's it was pretty short. It's a pretty short interaction, so I think those were the things.
Okay.
That I think went well.
Great.
Yeah.
Barbara, how do you? What were some of the good things that you noticed in terms of the interaction?
Well, I have to agree with Chris. I think that he was able really to establish a very quick relationship with him, and I think that one of your goals was to declare the agenda, and I think you did that very nicely. And by kind of summarizing also a little bit of his history, you also kind of checked the patient understanding a little bit, and with your interaction.
Good. Michael?
I don't know. I thought it was fine.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. I think you definitely tried to set the agenda, which you did. I really like the fact that you sort of at the beginning said we'd like to recap and just make sure that we're all on the same page. I think that's great. And I do think that by doing that and also telling the patient what you wanted to sort of accomplish with the session, you did develop a rapport with him, a connection that sort of stated, although not directly, that that you were going to work with him and try and get him to a better understanding of what's going on and a plan of action. So I thought all of that was very good. Now you had alluded to things that you might have wanted to do a little bit differently, or something that you felt you should have done that you didn't do. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, I thought, kind of in my nervousness, one of the things that was talked about is check the patient's understanding in terms of the agenda, and I don't think I did that. I think I just kind of kept on going. So I didn't necessarily see if he had anything else that he wanted to talk about in the session. The other thing is I don't know if I used open-ended questions. Completely lost that one. I'm not sure if I used them or not. So something to think about as I kind of do the next run through. But
okay. Is there anything, any suggestions from the group that you, in particular, that you think would be helpful, or other than those aspects that you pointed out, or?
I think those aspects are. Yeah, I think focusing on those would be good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else specifically that I'd like their feedback on. But.
Okay. Barbara, was there any other feedback in terms of what Chris had just commented on?
Well, I think that the interaction wasn't necessarily that long, and maybe one of the reasons why some of the things that you wanted to do didn't happen. It's because of that. What I've noticed that one of the process tasks here is that before starting the whole discussion with the patient is to check and see whether or not they're comfortable being here by themselves, or if they would like to postpone or call a friend in or a relative. I don't know if that was something that you wanted to focus on. Or
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I missed that one. I didn't. Good. We'll check in on that next time. Yeah.
All right, Michael, anything else to add?
I think there's some things to improve upon, but I guess we'll find out next time around.
Okay. So what I'd like to do at this juncture is perhaps play the video back, sort of see, again, review what went well, and then maybe see where in the interaction that we could work on some of the other things like that you talked about, like actually checking the understanding. I think you had an opportunity to do that at some point in between, sort of right after you laid out your agenda. And then also maybe open-ended questions regarding the patient's own agenda about what he might be concerned about with regard to his diagnosis and what the potential treatments would be and things. So not only setting out your agenda, but also asking an open-ended question, what's your agenda? So let's go ahead and review the tape there.
We're clear on what happened up to today.
So I thought that was really good because you said we want to check your understanding, review everything that happened.
Talk about, your options. So that's what I'd like to do today.
I think you stated your agenda really well.
The first thing is I just want to review a little bit kind of what has happened with you so far. It sounds like that you were initially diagnosed with prostate cancer from a local urologist. And since that time, you've come to see us, and we've done another PSA, we've done some other tests. I'd like to discuss what those tests are. Okay.
So I thought that was really good. You sort of recap sort of what happened and things. At that point, sort of what was going on in your mind in terms of what the next step was?
Yeah, I mean, what was going on in my mind was that I was trying to figure out, since I set the agenda, I was trying to remember what that agenda was, and then I needed to cover it. So, since it's something that, was kind of new setting the agenda, I'm just...
So I just wanted to time out the session there. Chris, how do you think that went the second time around? What did you think went well that time?
Yeah, I mean, that felt much better the second time around. I thought I was able to, set the agenda.
Well, because we're sort of nearing the end of your session, I wanted to get feedback from Larry. How do you think things went sort of first time around to second time around?
Well, the first time around, it just seemed a little awkward, and you were going through. You were just so much more at ease the second time that you had what you were going to say, and the fact that you asked me about Millie and